campaign?
No. Hi everyone. Today our project is getting to know the DU bookstore, the University of Denver and the students' life. And Betty and me, we went to interview the DU bookstore last week. And first of all, we divide our presentation into 5 parts. This includes background, interview, information, results of interview, difficult and interesting things, and finally the conclusion. And then I will talk about some background information that we can find on the DU bookstore website. Next, I will talk about why we choose the DU bookstore and what we hope to learn. First of all, this is the DU bookstore logo, and here is the website. We can find all types of accessories here. And here is the DU bookstore information. Here is the location and how to contact them, and what is their working hour. And then I will talk about why we choose the DU bookstore. The first reason we choose the DU bookstore is because it's closely related to our life. We need to go to there buy some textbooks and some stationery. And then we are crucial about how the DU bookstore runs and how it is managed. And then, last but not least, we want to get more business information behind the DU bookstore, which we believe will definitely help for you. And then I will talk about what we hope to learn. Firstly, we hope that we can learn how to communicate frequently with manager or people outside our class. And we also want to learn more skills about how to conduct a real interview. And then we want to get more information about the DU students' life. Getting information from the school member will definitely provide us the most.
Ooh.
Don't worry, the camera is still working.
It's nice that the camera could capture this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only things. Maybe you will
Yeah.
Maybe it got overheated.
I will start at the second point.
Okay.
Moreover, we want to get more information about the DU students' life. Getting information from the school member will provide us the most detailed and true information. And then Betty will talk about some interview information.
Okay, so now I will give some interview information. The person we interviewed is Tommy, who is the DU bookstore manager. And we interviewed him for about 15 minutes at DU bookstore office on January 31st, 2013. And then it is our main parts of the presentation, the results of our interview. We divide it into 4 parts. The first is books and the customers, employees, and the activities. For the books, we can notice that there are many different kinds of books at the bookstore, such as textbooks, light readings, academic references, additional references, and others. As a student, we concern more about textbooks. We had questions about how could the bookstore collect the information about textbooks, and how many textbooks will they stock a quarter? Tommy told us the total number of our textbook will vary each quarter, average is 1,800 a quarter. And they collect the information from faculty members, the class size, their history, and the research. And the next, I will talk about the customers. We just concerned if they're just DU students can go to DU bookstore. But Tommy told us, no, there are many different kinds of people who shop at DU bookstore, like visitors, faculty members, students outside DU, and community. And how about the customer flow? How many people will go to DU bookstore per day? Tommy told us it will depend on the activities. Like, he gives us an example that there are 7,500 customers in a particular day at DU bookstore. And we can definitely find during president debate or some other special events at DU, there are more customers than normal days. And then Manhan will talk about the employees and activities.
And we asked about the manager, how many workers are there in the DU bookstore and how many of them are students. Tommy told us that there are total 26 employees and 9 of them are students. We also asked for the working hour for students. And Tommy told us that the working hours for students depends on the students' schedule. This means their working hours are flexible. And we also know that most of the employees in the DU bookstores are doing the part-time job. And then we asked Tommy about his feelings on doing this job. He told us that his satisfaction of this job depends on the customer's feedback. If the feedback is positive, he may feel very happy and he is willing to work hard. And then we know some information about the activities in the DU bookstore. As we know, there is an Apple store inside the DU bookstore. This Apple store provides lots of convenience to customers. The first point is make Apple products easy to buy. This means customers do not need to go off the campus or go somewhere else to buy the Apple products. And the DU bookstore provides competitive prices for customers. This is because the DU bookstore has cooperated with the Apple store, and the Apple store will provide lots of promotion to benefit customers. And the last one is, Tommy told us that in the near future, the DU bookstore will have a full service department. And so customers who have problems on their computers or Apple products don't need to go to somewhere else or book sometimes on the junior's bus. This is a specific technique person who can fix all your problems. And then we also get some advertisement information about the DU bookstore. Tommy tells us that DU bookstore make its advertisements through several mediums. And the most typical one is by social media. And this includes the Facebook, local newspaper, radio advertisement, in-store advertising, and local marketing. And we also know that the DU bookstore has cooperated with many local businesses. And These businesses are required to provide some no-cost lunch for students on some opening days. And the Tommy reminded us that the DU bookstores always try to keep with community. And then we will talk about the difficult and interesting things during the interview. Actually, the DU bookstore is a very special department. It belongs to both University of Denver and another outside company. And the DU bookstore has a special department to accept all media interviews. So actually, our case is a very special one. So we have to first give all our interview questions to the manager, and he prepared all of them in advance. So this means we don't have chance to immediately react during the interview.
And then I will talk about some interesting things during the interview. The first is we had a question about there are more and more students nowadays buy their textbooks online. Is there any influence on our DU bookstore? The answer we expected is yes. But Tommy told us he thought it is both healthy for students and the DU bookstore, because he thought that DU bookstore can find the best value for the student. And the second interesting we thought is because our interview questions are limited. After our interview, Tommy told us about his own experience. Me and Manhan thought that he was a native speaker, but actually he is from Finland and came to the United States 15 years ago. We are really surprised about it because his pronunciation is really good. And during these 15 years, he moved a lot, from Florida to California and Texas, but finally he chose Denver. And he told us he likes traveling during his leisure time, and he traveled about 30 states at United States. We really admire that. And he told us he can totally understand our situation now because we are now at ELC. He told us he had a really difficult time when he first came to the USA because the English is not his native language. And last is our conclusion. We have two main points of our conclusion. The first is, after the interview, we know more about the DU bookstore. We know how it is managed, and we know it cannot exist alone. As I said before, if DU bookstore needs to stock some things, they need to connect to faculty members and do some research. So it related to many different departments of University of Denver. And the second, I think the most important thing is, during the interview, Tommy always told us the customer is God. He really focused on what the students feeling, the feedback of customers. As Mahan said before, his feeling about his job is based on students' feedback. So as all this information, I hope that the DU bookstore can operate better in the future, and all the students can buy what they want at the DU bookstore. Thank you for listening.